Welcome to the Sentimental Twist,
where two generations share one love for meaningful spaces and gracious hospitality.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Melissa.
Let's gather around the table and talk home, hosting, and all things sentimental.
Yay!
Welcome back, y'all.
Welcome back, everybody.
Episode 4, Season 2.
Yes, right, Season 2.
Wow.
So welcome, everybody. We're so excited to be here with you. I'm Melissa. And you can find me at Home with a Twist on Instagram, and homewithatwist.com is my website, and Home with a Twist on YouTube.
Yep. And I'm Brittany, and I'm at Brittany Shepherd on the Instagrams, and my website is thesentimentaldecorator.com, and my YouTube channel is Brittany Shepherd TSD. So.
All right, so how was your week? Did you do anything fun?
I'm trying to think. A lot of work. But some fun stuff. My friend and I, we are back in our market season for our vintage little shop, so we're popping that up from time to time. We've got 5 open dates between now and Christmas, and so it's really fun to see our friends, our customer friends again, because it's too hot to do it in our warehouse during the warmer months, so we wait till it cools off, and it's been good to get back to that.
Now, what's the name of your little shop?
Timeless Home Market.
And can people find it on the internet, or is it all just in person?
We do have an Instagram page and a website, and there are a few things you can buy online, but we really haven't delved into that. It's more of a local pop-up kind of situation, but it's Shop Timeless Market on Instagram if you're
okay, perfect. Interested. All right, I'm glad to know that. I'm gonna have to follow that. So I did something really special this week.
What's that?
My friend Peggy, who I've talked about before, that was her mother, our mothers were the best friends.
Mm-hmm.
He sponsored me for this organization in Fort Worth called the Fort Worth Lecture Foundation.
Oh, cool.
It's been around for 90 years. And it's a foundation that was started in 1935, specifically so that women could have a place to go to learn about social and cultural affairs in the world. And back in the 30s, women could not leave their homes in the evening unless they were accompanied by a man.
Chaperone.
Or their husband, primarily. So it was a daytime luncheon, and it still exists as a daytime luncheon. So this was their 90th anniversary celebration, and it was my very first lunch to attend, my very first lecture as a new member.
Mm-hmm.
And they had Anna Quindlen as the speaker, who's a huge author and New York Times editorial columnist and women's activist and all the things. And so that was really neat. One of my very favorite people who was a speaker in 1935 was Eleanor Roosevelt.
Mm.
So they did a really nice little PowerPoint presentation of all the speakers they've had throughout the 90 years. And it's both men and women speakers, but I was really excited to be part of that. And of course, since it was their 90th celebration, they served champagne.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, is this going to be for every meeting that we're going to have a glass of bubbly? And they said, oh, no, dear. This is just, you'll have to wait another 90 years for us to have a glass of bubbly.
Yeah. Or maybe the 100th anniversary, they might.
Maybe the 100th. Yeah. 10 more years and I'll be 71. So that'll be perfect. Yeah. Okay. So we talked about family traditions last week.
Yeah. A lot about traditions.
Yeah. And I thought it would be a great segue to have a very special guest on with me this morning. You want to scoot over?
Yeah.
Okay. I have, hop up so I can scoot your chair over. So I have my 10-year-old niece, Amelia, with me. She spent the night last night, and she is one of my biggest fans. Can you get by? Okay, she's coming. If you're watching it, you got to watch this on YouTube today so you can see how darling she is.
She is darling.
Okay, scoot a little bit. Let me sit more like on my chair there. Okay, so I'm going to scoot over so you can be more in the camera. Yeah. Okay, so this is Amelia, and we talked a little bit about what she's going to talk about today. First of all, you were going to introduce yourself.
My name is Amelia, and I'm 10 years old, and I love cats.
She loves cats.
Okay, and who's that you're sitting by?
Her?
Who's that you're sitting with?
Aunt Missy.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and Amelia has been coming to my house to spend the night since she was a newborn. And what did you tell me last night that we were chatting? She likes to sleep with me in my bed. It's very cozy. And this morning you said one of the reasons you like to come here is why?
To get away from my brothers.
To get away from her. She has twin 6-year-old brothers.
I get that.
Who are very sweet, but it's a lot. It's double the trouble, right?
Yeah.
And we have been watching the new Waverly Place reboot. And I said, can you imagine if your brothers were wizards, the trouble they would get into? She said, what did you say? You said,
I deserve to be one more.
you deserve to be the wizard, right?
Yeah.
Get it.
Got a little bit of aqua icing on her nose. Okay, so we're going to get to the reason why we wanted to have Amelia here. Amelia has 10 years of traditions already under her belt and is around women who love to host parties, right? Your mama loves to have people over,
Yeah.
and your Mimi and Aunt Missy, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted you to share with everybody who's listening, as a 10-year-old, what are some of your favorite traditions that you would like to see maybe passed down for you to do when you get to be a grown-up?
I like to open one present on Christmas Eve and then open the rest on Christmas.
I love
Do you
that.
get to pick the present on Christmas Eve, or is it just somebody hands it to you?
We have to pick them, but if my parents don't want me to open that one until Christmas, they can tell me to pick a different one.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So if it's more of a special one. When
Mhm.
I was little, we got to pick out one, and it was usually pajamas.
Same. That
Yeah.
was what we did too.
You'd wear it that night. Okay,
It had
what
a
if
star on it because that's the one we had to pick.
your mom was that organized?
Mhm.
Yeah. What else are some of your favorite traditions?
Hmm.
You have any foods that you like to eat at Christmas or Thanksgiving that it's just not Thanksgiving unless you have it?
On Thanksgiving, I like to eat ice cream after I finish all my food and the macaroni that Phoebe made.
Oh, Phoebe makes the bomb macaroni and cheese. And what does Aunt Missy do with the whipped cream?
You squirt it in her mouth?
Uh-huh, squirt it in their mouths. Yeah.
Well, that's a fun tradition that I'm down for sure.
Yeah. And maybe share one more tradition with us. It could be any tradition. It could be about Christmas,
We
Thanksgiving.
like going trick-or-treating on Halloween.
Oh, yeah. And in your neighborhood, tell everybody about what y'all do in your neighborhood. There's a big party, and then like a block party.
Oh, that's in my mom's friend's neighborhood.
That's Abby, right?
Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
think so.
And tell everybody what that's about.
Well, they hand out flyers. Last year, I got to hand out the flyers and to ask people if it was okay, and we got enough people to say okay, so we got to go trick-or-treating.
So it was like flyers to get the neighborhood's permission to have to block the street off.
Yeah.
Yes. We have a lot of trick-or-treaters in our neighborhood too, because we're right near a school. Okay, tell everybody before you head out, what are you going to be for Halloween?
A witch.
Are you a fan of Wicked? Have you seen
I
it?
like Wicked,
Yeah.
but I'm not like really a fan. I just like it.
I gotcha. Makes sense.
So you said your witch's costume is going to have what kind of hat?
A curly hat.
I love that.
Yeah. Well, thanks for
sounds like
being my
fun.
guest.
Well, have fun trick-or-treating. It was so
Yeah.
good to meet you.
Okay, go finish your donut. Okay, thank y'all for letting me have her on.
Yeah, so today we have a very special guest interview that we're going to share with y'all. I got to sit down virtually with our friend Kate, who has been following us and been with us since the beginning of the Sentimental Twist and on our Instagrams. She's so kind. She's another Alabama gal. She lives near Birmingham. But we're going to talk about organizing photos a little bit and Kate can talk about that with us. But Melissa, how do you organize your photos? Because
Well, after listening to hearing the interview you did with Kate, I realize I'm not doing a very good job with organizing my photos. I have two computers I work on. My laptop, which I'm doing from with the show today, it has photos on it, and then I have a PC that has photos that I don't even need anymore. So I need to get rid of those. I need to get them better organized. I thought I was organized until I listened to how Kate organizes.
same. Same. I was like, oh, I'm not doing a good job.
Uh-uh.
Didn't you do a photo project a few years ago? An
I
album
did.
project?
I did. I had my friend Elizabeth Jones, who I've talked about before, and we're going to
Hmm.
hopefully get her on as a guest. She's super busy though, so I don't know if she's going to be able to do it. She's the one that helped me with she's helped me organize every room in my house.
Hmm.
You can find her, Elizabeth Jones. She's the OCD Bachelorette on Instagram.
That's cute.
So reach out to her if you have any organizing projects. She goes all over the United States for people. I mean, primarily her job is here in Fort Worth and Dallas, but she will go anywhere. She took all of my loose paper heirloom photos that were just in
Mhm.
two giant boxes, and I
Yeah.
just handed them to her. And she went on to, you can do it anywhere, but she picked Zazzle and
Hmm.
had binders made that are all the same, and the spines say number one, number two,
Oh.
number three. And then she had me order two extra empty binders. And then she put in photo pages. And um, I just have to laugh, guys. We're not going to edit that out. It's her dog bark. It's Brittany's dog coughing, and I think it's funny. It sounds like a grown 400-pound man in the background coughing. Anyway,
Bounce. I don't know. Sorry, you may not be able to hear it because the editor does a good job
well,
with
Brittany and
editing
I are
out the
laughing at
sound.
each other, and she's not laughing at what I'm saying. She's laughing
No,
at hearing her dog, her
and I'm trying to
dog
like
is
close his
teeny.
mouth, you
Her
know.
dog is teeny, but it sounds like a linebacker coughing. I'm like, did you have a boy sleep over last night? And she's like, no, it's my dog. Okay, so anyway,
Sorry.
she took plastic sleeve photo pages and then she
Okay.
organized everything. And I even had like baby announcements from when I was born, little cards my mom got that are it from 1960s. So it's all beautifully organized. And whenever I want to display photos, I can go in there and pick out, is it my generation? Is it family photos? Is it Phoebe as a baby? Whatever. And that's how I display my photos. So I think that was brilliant. And I think if you go way back in my Instagram, you can see maybe where I probably need to
Revisit.
revisit that, repost that. But anyway, I'm looking forward to having y'all hear what Kate has to say, but I'm
Mhm.
gonna have to hire her in the new year.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something in the new year too with especially like you were saying, the heirloom photos. I have several boxes as well. And then from my childhood, my mom took so many pictures, and my brother and I, there are con Rubbermaid containers upon Rubbermaid containers of printed photos of us as kids. And so I've got to make that a 2026 goal. But and also my phone. Okay, can we do a test really quick? How many photos do you have in your phone?
How do you find that out? You go to like your photo album and
Album.
it tells
Yeah.
you. Oh, Lordy.
I just looked at mine. It's kind of embarrassing.
Three. How many do you have?
21,068.
How does your phone have enough memory for
I
that?
have the biggest, not maybe not the biggest storage size for an iPhone.
Amelia's
I
over
have
here laughing.
21,000 photos.
21,000 photos. Well, here's my thing is that I don't like to get rid of photos because I'm like, I might use that for something.
Right. Same.
And I even paid like, I don't know, a $1.99 a month for extra Google storage. And even then I'm getting a little, hello, lady, even on that, you're running out of room. So y'all are, after you hear Kate's interview, you're going to be like, well, that's going to be my goal for 26 too, is
Yeah.
being a better steward of my
Mhm.
memories. Let me ask you one question before we
Okay.
queue up for interview.
Okay.
What is one family photograph in your home that tells a story about you?
Gosh, there's so many. I have a really sweet picture of my brother and he was probably one and I was six. We're 5 years apart. And my mom, she got, professional portraits made of us a lot. And it's not a photograph, it's a big framed portrait. But she rarely was in our photos ever. But at this particular occasion, she had on a dress, I guess, that matched what we were wearing. And the photographer made her get in a few of the pictures. And so there's one that she's sitting on like a wicker settee and I'm sitting by her, my brother's in her lap. And it's one of my favorites of our childhood. And then my other favorite ones I have that tell my story, I think are all the wedding photos of great grandparents, grandparents. Just really sweet because I mean, that's my, heritage and history. And I love having those displayed in my home. So what about you?
lucky to have pictures of your grandparents. I don't have, I have my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, and I have a few of my paternal, but I don't have, my grandfathers were both deceased before I was born. And, people just didn't take a lot of pictures back in the 40s and 50s like they do now. A lot of it had to do with whether or not you had the money to hire a photographer to take a picture. I've got my parents' wedding pictures, but I don't have any of my grandparents together as couples, and I wish that I did. Now, maybe my sister does. My sister has a lot of photos. I'm going to be going to see her at the end of the month, and I'm hoping that maybe I can go through and see if I can find some things that I can make copies of. For me, I don't know that I have one special photo. I have one that's hanging in my ladies' lounge that I'm looking at right now. And it's a picture of my mother cutting her birthday cake, and I'm standing next to her, and I'm licking the icing. And I think that was my first real appreciation as I don't think I was quite Amelia's age, but I was old enough to appreciate good cake with good icing.
Mm-hmm.
And that started my love affair with cake. So I really I had that
Love that
photo
memory.
framed. And my mom's in a real cute little tunic top that has sleeveless with a cute little, I think she's probably wearing some capri pants. I mean, it's very 1970. She has a
Yeah, that's what I
beehive
was gonna say,
hairdo.
70s.
Yeah.
So cute.
Okay. Is there anything else we want to talk about before she?
No, let's just kick Kate off. Now, Kate is on Instagram. We talk about that in the interview, but the reason why we brought her for an interview, besides the fact that she's just a wonderful person, is that she is a professional, certified photo organizer. So we're going to get some good tips from her and some good ideas and information on how you can be better organized with your photos. And she's also a podcast host as well. She has a podcast with a friend named Emily. It's called The Button Up Society. So we touch a little on that as well. So let's listen in to the interview with Kate.
Can't wait.
Okay, y'all, today's guest is someone who I feel like I've known, I don't know, forever already because we've connected on Instagram. She's another Alabama gal, and I'm surprised that we haven't met in real life yet. But she is one of our first podcast listeners, an OG Sentimental Twist listener, but it is Kate Bagley. And she has such a beautiful heart for preserving memories and finding meaning in everyday life. So we thought that she would be the perfect guest, especially as we're going into the holiday season and thinking about all the memories that we're making and all the memories that we've had throughout the holidays. So she is a photographer-ish,
Only for fun.
but photo organizer,
Yes.
podcast host, and she'll
Yeah.
hopefully tell us a little bit about that. And we're going to talk about beekeeping a little bit. And then, but it's just really great to have her here and to talk in person with you today, Kate. So
Yay.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. This is so fun. I've been looking forward to it all week.
I know, me too. I do feel like we know each other, like in
Yes.
real life, but we've never met in real life yet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yet.
Yes.
But okay, so let's just get started and let's start with your story. Tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, the short and sweet version of Kate.
Okay, yeah. I will try to keep everything short and sweet. I'm not good at that. If you have ever listened to my podcast, you know I'm not good at keeping things short and sweet. I can get real chatty real quick. But so I am a wife and a mom. I have 3 kiddos. They are 12, 10, and 5. And obviously that takes up
A lot of
most of my brain power and all of my time, and I love it. They're wonderful. And I am a photo organizer and podcast co-host and
Mhm.
creator in general. I love to be creative. That is that's a big thing for me. And I love to decorate my house and love sentimental things. So I think Brittany and I definitely connected on that level for
Yes,
sure.
for sure. Okay, so you've been listening to the Sentimental Twist on that note from the very beginning, and I love
Yes.
that. What drew you to the podcast and the sentimental storytelling in general?
Gosh, so much. Storytelling is such a huge part of life. And I really do believe that everybody has a story that is worth telling. And I think we should treasure our stories, the good, the bad, and the ugly, always. And I think it's something that really creates our culture, no matter where we're from, is the stories that we tell.
Mm-hmm.
And, being a person from the South, I think there's such a big tradition of storytelling here
Yeah.
specifically. And that is true for regions and countries all over the world. But, that's the culture I am personally immersed in.
Mm-hmm.
And, I love authors and stories that are Southern, and they're the way that we tell
Yeah.
tales down here.
Right. You are a huge literary person, right? You love
Yes.
literature and reading. So tell us, some favorite authors and books.
Oh gosh. Now, that was not on your list.
I know. I was thinking that as it was coming
That
up.
is that is a loaded question. Um, that is a loaded question. So, yeah, I actually used to be a high school English teacher,
Mm-hmm.
before my kids were born. But, as far as Alabama writers go, I love Rick Bragg.
Yep. Love a Rick Bragg
So
story.
good. Oh, my doorbell just rang.
Oh,
Um, sorry.
that's fine.
No, you're fine. I love Rick Bragg. I also love Kevin Wilson. He's a fiction writer, and he
Mhm.
writes these really quirky stories, sometimes set in the South, sometimes not. I think he's Tennessee based, but I really enjoy him. I just finished his new book. I also really love Ann Patchett,
Mm,
who it lives in Nashville now and owns a bookstore there. But I love reading and
mhm.
writing.
We
I
just a couple
oh
months ago, Sean Dietrich, Sean of the South,
yes.
he came to Dothan and did a show, and it was so fun. And he's kind of Rick Bragg-esque in his writing,
Yes,
and so it was really fun to go to his show. Okay.
very much. I really enjoy his writing too.
Yeah. All right. So you wear several creative hats. Um, and so as a mom, you're very creative. I can tell with your meal planning and all the things you're trying to be creative with the activities with your family, but the photo organizing in general. And then tell us a little bit about the beekeeping thing.
So I am not a beekeeper.
Hmm.
I will say, as I told Brittany the other day, no, I still squeal and run from bees. But about a year ago, I think it was last fall, my husband came home and he said that he had bought some beehives
Hmm.
and he wanted to start doing this. So he has just gone straight into beekeeping.
Full fledged.
What you also need to know is he is a very creative person as well. Like he's an
Okay.
oil painter, he's a musician, you name it, he could probably do it.
Hmm.
But so he's always, dipping his toe in the water of different things. But he has really fallen in love with beekeeping and now has honey. And he's gotten in a couple of local stores. He's got it for sale on a website. He's selling it locally,
That's cool.
and it's really cool.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So he's really creative. Tell us about all of your creative outlets, storytelling, the photos, anything, home decor. Tell us like
Yeah.
what your favorite creative outlets are.
Well, I love home decor. I can't get enough of it. I'm always moving things around and running to antique stores and thrift stores when I can. And just finding different things that might I guess truly tell a story. I mean, I'm not going to say I think of it that way when I'm looking for it necessarily, but no matter what it is or where I find it, whether it's, a family heirloom or something I just found at the Goodwill, it immediately becomes a story in my home.
Agree.
Um,
I
'Cause
love an adopted heirloom, as I
I
call
know, me too. I love that you call them that too, because
them.
it's so true. I'm like, oh yeah, I could probably walk around my house and tell you a story about every single thing that's in it.
Sounds about right. That's why we're friends.
Yeah.
Okay, so, part of the show is we talk about rituals and seasonal things and just everyday life things that make it joyful and special. So, what is one small ritual or routine that you have that brings you joy that you look forward to, even if it's simple?
Oh, this is so simple, but I look forward to. I go to bed at night thinking about it.
I know what it is.
It's my morning coffee.
Same. The same way. I gotta have my morning coffee.
It's my very favorite thing, and what has been a total game changer for me this fall, again, super simple, and I can't believe I haven't done it till now. I figured out how to set up my coffee maker on automatic.
Hmm.
So I set it up at night. My coffee's ready when I wake up.
Yep. That's
And
the
it's
best
the
thing my nighttime self does for my morning self.
yes,
Yep.
it is wonderful that I don't have to wait that few minutes for my
Hmm.
pot of coffee to be
It's
made because
I can smell it from my bedroom,
yes,
and it's motivation to get out of the bed,
yes,
to get up and get
yes.
my day going.
And here's something funny. I don't set it on the weekends because I don't want to mess with the time, and I
Oh,
don't need my
same.
coffee to be made at 5:45 on Saturday morning. So I just make the coffee in the morning on the weekends. But when I wake up on Saturday, I'm like, oh, my coffee's not made. I gotta go make my
No.
coffee.
Mhm. I still put it together. I just don't start the timer, and so that when I get up on Saturday, I just have to press the button.
That's a good idea. I
Yeah.
should do that. Give myself
It's
a
a little part of
little.
my little routine now.
Yeah, give myself a little Saturday morning gift. But yeah, I love that morning coffee. And I love that it's just ready for me. It feels like a little luxury on in my mornings because my mornings are crazy getting three kids to school on time.
Hey, but those crazy mornings are probably going to be some of the memories that you make and look back on when they're gone and out of the house as those crazy morning memories. Yeah.
Probably. I hope so.
Yeah. Well, okay. So speaking of memories and remembering things, let's talk about
Yeah.
how you help others preserve memories because I just think this
Yeah.
is such a really amazing concept and idea, and the heart behind it is just so, I just think it's perfect for anybody, has a family or has a bunch of old photos from family members and just what to do with all this stuff in this digital age. So, you help people preserve memories through photo organizing. Such an emotional and sentimental task, I believe, and when I'm looking at it from my perspective.
Yeah.
So, what inspired you to start doing that?
So I've always loved photos. Like I was a kid who had like a little, those little kid like cameras. I mean, they were film cameras then, and my mom would have to say like, "Okay, you can't use up all your film taking pictures of your Cabbage Patch dolls." But I remember I would line my dolls up and we would take my sister and I would take pictures of them and I've just always loved taking pictures and enjoying them, putting them in photo books. When I was a kid, I remember I used to love the little free photo book that would come with your prints
Yep.
from it was the Big B drugstore when I was
Yep.
little. And then I guess CVS when I got older, but yeah, I even loved those. And then I got really into scrapbooking as a teenager and I
Yep.
had all the scrapbooking paper and the things that I had books that had like different ways to use your handwriting in those scrapbooks. So I've always loved, keeping photos and
Mhm.
memories in that way. But then, obviously we've seen a huge shift in how photos function and are taken in the last I guess 25 years now,
Mhm.
really. So, we've lived through that shift from print to digital, which is really interesting to see and to kind of be a part of. But as we've shifted into digital, and once my kids were born, I obviously wanted very much to make sure that I was preserving photos and memories for them. And they were all born fully into the digital age. A lot of people who had kids a little bit earlier than me have, half their kids' pictures that are print form, not digital, and half that are digital. But mine all were born, in the iPhone era.
Right.
So they're all in digital form for the most part. But I was telling myself I was doing this great job. I had everything organized. I had external hard drive with all the pictures on it. And then when I went to make my second baby's baby book, my external hard drive would not load. And of course, I mean, just waterworks
Gosh, yeah.
immediately, tears, just that pit in my stomach.
Mm,
I was able to recover those pictures. Thankfully, this story has a happy ending.
good.
But then that sent me on a mission of, okay, I thought I knew what to do. I
Mhm.
thought I had these organized and on an external hard drive and that I was good to go. And what I didn't realize is that external hard drives are not permanent. They can malfunction, they can break, they, just can get old. They have moving pieces. The original kind of external hard drive has moving pieces in it that can
Mm,
stop
okay.
working. Um, so I invested lots of time and energy in figuring this out and took different courses. If you've ever heard of Miss Freddie, I got certified with her. She has like a whole mentorship program, and it's like a whole semester of learning, how to become a photo organizer. And I had already done a lot of research and worked on it before that too. So I did that because I thought I never want anybody to feel that pit in their stomach like I felt. Like, we've got too many tools
Hmm.
to feel that way. Um, so yeah, that sort of started the whole thing because I thought if I can do this for myself, I can do this for other people, and that
Yeah.
will, really help them. And I want people to know how to take care of their photos.
Hmm.
Um,
So before the next question, can you give a little rundown of how it works, like to work with you, if
yeah,
someone is interested in this? Yeah.
yeah. So I can help people anywhere in the world,
Mhm.
basically,
That's cool.
because I can do it fully remote, kind of like we're talking right now. I have a program where I can come in and I can use your computer and organize your photos, and yeah, I can do it right there. So what it kind of looks like is we initially have a consult and we talk about kind of where your photos are, what you really need, and everybody's photos are different. There's no right or wrong. People are always so worried about how many photos they have, and I'm like, y'all, it doesn't even matter. Take as many photos as you want.
Mhm.
Like, don't be embarrassed by how many photos you have. I remember somebody one time was like, I have whatever number of photos. It's so many. And I was like, I have that many just from this year.
Mhm.
But so anyway, we have a consult, we figure out a plan, we choose how we want to back up your photos, which is really the most important part.
Mhm.
The organizing is great and really nice and convenient. It helps you do other things and use your photos. But
Mhm.
really, having a system for backup is the crucial piece that a lot of people are missing.
Yeah, I agree. I think
Um,
I'm missing that, honestly.
well, I clearly was too. That's how I got here.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so that's kind of what it looks like. So
Hmm.
then we talk and we figure out what the plan is. And sometimes my clients have a little homework that they have to do. It's usually
Hmm.
really just kind of letting their phone photos back up to that.
Okay.
Or if they have CDs, they
Hmm.
might want to copy those because if I'm remote, I cannot physically put the CD into the CD drive, or they can ship them to me if they want. So yeah, then I have access to their stuff and I organize it, back it up, and kind of teach them afterwards how to keep up with that
Hmm.
in
That's
the
cool.
future.
So, question, do you do like physical photos? Let's say I have a box of old black and whites that were, just in a cabinet or a closet at
Mhm.
my grandparents' house, and I'd like to digitize those and back those up. How does that work?
Yeah, so you just have to get those photos to me either, if you're local or nearby, I can physically meet you and get them, or you can mail them to me for people who are in other states or too far away.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll take them and scan them, and we'll get a digital copy of them for everybody.
That's amazing. Okay, because we
Mhm.
did that with my dad's parents' wedding photos. My cousin kind of took that on, and so we all have our own copies of them, and
Yeah.
they're some of my favorite pictures of all time. And
Yes.
the fact that I have them digitally is wonderful. So,
It's amazing.
yeah.
I guess it was last summer I started. My mom has done a really good job of organizing the physical prints of because she has inherited
Mhm.
all of the family photos. And I set off to start digitizing them and scanning them.
Wow.
And I've gotten a lot done. It's been such a treasure for me to have those photos. And I have printed copies of them. In this room I'm sitting in, I've got pictures of my grandparents, and my parents when they were little, and some of my own childhood photos. And there's just nothing better
Yeah.
than having those memories. I mean, they're truly works of art,
Hmm.
I feel
Agree.
like.
I agree.
Um,
And like I think they are art in your homes. Like if
yes.
you're displaying family photos, that's art. My mama always said that. Our portraits were hanging up and people will be like, "Oh, you have a lot of pictures of your kids." Well, they're my art,
Yeah.
she would always say. So I just feel like it's a way to stay close to them and honor them.
Mhm. It is.
So
It is. I think about them every day. They're hanging out here with me.
yeah, it's a good way. Okay, so what's one thing most people don't realize about organizing or digitizing family photos?
People don't realize how at risk their photos actually are.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, it's okay. I've got it on my phone. I've got it on iCloud. It's fine. I'll worry about it later." But when later never comes and then
Mhm.
something happens,
Yeah.
it's a bad feeling. It's a
Yeah.
real bad feeling.
Yeah. So do you have a favorite story from a client project of helping someone with their photos?
I have a couple. One of them is for me, my own, which ties into what we were just talking about with my grandparents. But
Mhm.
another one is grandparent related as well. But it's so sweet when I go back through with clients and kind of show them what's been organized and what's been done. And people will really get emotional and they're like, I'm seeing these people that I miss so much, I love so much, and played such a big role in my life. And it's truly an honor to get to see that and be a part of it, even in the tiniest, most like, you know, I don't know,
Yeah.
like administrative way.
Right.
Um, but I truly genuinely feel honored that people trust me to be a part of their story in that way.
Yeah. That's so sweet.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah. But the other one is this is my personal favorite thing so far. When I was going through my family photos to digitize them, we found a sleeve or a couple sleeves of negatives. And
Mhm.
so I was able to use a light box and pretty unprofessionally digitize them. Like there are more professional ways to do this, but this was just for my own. And so when I did, I was showing my mom and her sisters. I was like, "Oh, I found these." Some of them I had seen before, and then some of them none of us had ever seen. They had never seen them. And these were of my grandparents. Right after they got married, they lived in Germany for a little while. They got married in 1958,
Mhm.
and then it was technically peacetime then, but my grandfather was drafted into the army,
Mhm.
and they lived in Germany I think for almost two, right around 2 years. So they were, in their early 20s and they're like in these beautiful mountains and they've got like a tennis racket or a badminton racket.
Mhm.
But I have those pictures framed in my house because
That's special.
I love them so much. And we think that my grandmother may have been expecting my mom in that picture. Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. It was really sweet.
That's a
So,
great story. Okay, so for those of us who are now realizing we are not doing a good job with backing up and keeping our photos organized,
yeah.
where is the best place to start? What's the first advice you would give someone?
Okay, the first advice I give is just to consolidate everything. Wherever you've got it, if you have CDs or thumb drives or whatever like that, collect all those, get them all together. If you've got folders on your desktop, if you've got Google Photos and Amazon Photos and iCloud and all the different things like we all do, figure out where everything is, make a list, and then your first task is to get a new external hard drive because
Okay.
they do go bad. Maybe grab a solid state one because the price of those has really come down recently.
Mhm.
And they don't have moving parts, so they're a little less likely to break. So they
Okay.
potentially could last longer. And then copy all of those digital files onto that external hard drive.
Okay.
So you've got everything in one spot.
Okay.
And then back up from there.
Okay.
Choose a backup service and back up from there.
Okay. That's good. All right,
Yeah.
so that blend of care and storytelling and memory keeping and preserving is inspirational to me, and it fits so well with sentimental style and sentimental home. And because, it's all a part of your home and your history, and so you
Yeah.
can blend all that into your everyday. So let's talk about what's one sentimental item or heirloom in your home that tells a story about how you are.
Okay, you already know the answer to this. And I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, well, I really want to pick something different than what I've already talked to Brittany about. But truly, it is the thing that I feel like is the most sentimental to me and holds lots of sentimental things. So Brittany was so sweet and she featured this in her Sentimental Sunday newsletter. I have a china cabinet in my house that belonged to my great grandmother, and my grandmother gave it to me because they were moving, I think, and I had just gotten married and we had bought our first house, and she was like, "You can have this china cabinet, do whatever you want with it." Um, which of course I left it exactly as it was because she was like, paint it, do this, do that. And I was like, no, I
Nope,
will not.
not doing it.
Well, I will say I have recently, I did put some like peel and stick wallpaper on the back just
That's
to
cute.
kind of lighten it up, make it more, make it like easier to see the things that I keep in it a little bit without trying to add lights or anything. But I love that cabinet, and I did for a long time use it as a china cabinet. And then in my last house and this house, I didn't really have a good spot for it as a china cabinet. So I use it more like a curio cabinet now, but it's where I keep my sort of most prized possessions. I have a very small collection of signed books from author events I've gone to or people have given me. So I keep those in there. I keep some special books that are just favorites in there. I have some special pieces of china in there. I keep my cute little bucket of seashells
Mhm.
that from because we love to go to the beach. And even that plain glass like canister is sentimental, even though it's probably like from Walmart. But a friend of mine gave it to me as a baby shower gift, and the lid broke, and it was so cute. It was full of baby socks, and it was like a game for the shower. Like I think we were supposed to guess how many pairs of socks were in there or something. So even that like little glass jar is sentimental. I'm trying to think what else is in there. I have my collection of blue and white on top of it,
Mhm.
and I have a beautiful wood turned bowl that my dad made because he was very into woodworking when I was a kid.
Mhm.
And he had like a whole shop and I would go with him, and um I had my little toy tools in there.
Mhm.
And my dad is very much like me, I feel like, and he is always being creative and still is, and learning things and doing different things. But that's in there. Just lots of family photos.
Mhm.
Yep.
So it's like it's the cabinet of your story. It tells a lot of your story
Mhm.
inside of it. Your
Yeah.
story, your family's story. I think you said maybe there's wedding photos. Oh, there's a
Yeah.
family beach photo or
There's a
something
family
like
beach
that.
photo in there, but I do have wedding photos in there. I have like my grandparents' wedding photo, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, my parents, my husband and me, and my sister and her husband. Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
I love it.
This-
Really cool way to use a china cabinet in a different way than just using it for china. I just think
Yeah.
it's such a cool idea.
Yeah. Now I do use plenty of china in my decor because I have my plate wall that I love so much.
Oh
That's
yeah. Well,
always a conversation piece in
you
my
need to
house.
send us a photo of it. I think you've sent it to me before, but
Okay.
I think we need to put it on our Instagram page for the podcast because it is
Oh, yeah.
super inspirational. If you love a gallery like a plate wall, Kate's is colorful and just it's arranged so beautifully. I don't know, y'all just have to see it.
It's
Um,
it's whimsical.
it is whimsical.
It is not measured because I only measure with my heart.
Same. Same. This is
I'll
why
have to
there
send
might
you
be multiple holes behind one thing.
always. Always. We don't talk about what's behind the things hanging
Yeah,
on the
no.
wall.
And then I'm like, oh, well, even if I take this down, something's going to hang in over it. It's okay that there's
Yeah,
a couple
it's
of
fine.
extra holes in the wall.
It's fine.
It's
It's
fine.
just a wall.
Well,
Yeah, I'll have
speaking
to.
of people going to see your plate wall, tell us how people can follow you and connect with you, whether it's just to see your beautiful plate wall and story keeping china cabinet or to employ your photo organizing service.
So you can find me on Instagram. I am at kate.bagley on Instagram, and I share all sorts of different things on there, photo tips and home decor and silly things sometimes
Meal
and meal
plans.
plans
Yeah,
and yeah, all the things. All my I don't
just life.
know, all the life things.
Hmm.
Yeah. There are links on there for some free resources, some Google Forms to fill out if you're interested, but you can also always just message me and I'll be glad to like lead you the right way. My website is getting a redo, so it is currently down, but
Okay.
whenever it's back, I will let you know. It's
That's
been
fun.
down for a minute because I am not a web designer. So
It's not an easy thing to do if you don't know much about designing a website, but they can always connect with you on Instagram. So,
yes, you can always find me on Instagram. If you want to know about the honey, we have a website for that. That is bagleyhoney.com. So that's available there. It's also in Alabama Goods if you're in Birmingham, or I think there's a store in Huntsville. I don't know if we have any honey in the Huntsville store, but we do in the Hoover and Homewood stores. But yeah.
that's amazing. Okay, we're gonna close it off, but I want to ask you one more question. You talked about the photo preserving first steps, but if you can encourage listeners to do one small thing this week to preserve or honor their memories, what would it be?
It would be to take out a photo book, a photo album, a box of photos, the photos on your fridge, put them in your actual hands.
Hmm.
Don't pick up your phone and look at your photos on there this time. Like,
Okay.
that's fine,
Physical photos.
but I want you to touch a paper photo this
Okay.
week and feel the connection. That
Mm.
sounds real woo-woo when I'm saying it,
No, I love
but
it.
I want you to really touch that paper, flip those pages, and like remember what it feels like to look through those memories and not just scroll through
Scroll
them.
through 'em. I love that. I do think there is a tactile thing to memories that we need to touch something to remember it. So
Absolutely.
that's such good advice. It almost made me tear up. It actually did kind of make me tear up a little bit. Like I was
It's
just
here to
maybe
make
I
people
need to go look
cry.
through my baby album or something.
Yes.
Because it's got my mom's handwriting in it, about
Hmm.
the little milestones and things. That's just so special.
So
Um,
special.
I love that word.
It's so special.
Yeah.
And then one other thing, I just thought about this. If you have something physical that you do want a digital copy of, because there is definitely a place for that. And I do think that's important because, physical things are at risk too.
Yeah.
So it's good to have copies of things. You don't have to wait until you can send stuff to me to scan, or you buy a scanner, or you get access to a scanner, or I know some libraries have scanners you can either check out or use there. But
Hmm.
honestly, I know I just said don't pick this up and scroll, but this can serve as a good scanner
Hmm.
to digitize those things in a very informal way,
Yeah.
but totally useful way too.
Yeah. So
Um,
even taking photos of the pages in those
right,
albums and
right.
books and things. Okay.
Just
Yeah. Or physical photos.
get some decent light, wipe your lens off with a nice
Mhm.
cloth. That's my number one tip for the phone camera.
Yeah.
And just try to get it flat. Use those grids that
Hmm.
it very conveniently has,
Yeah.
and snap some photos, and then organize them into a little album on your camera roll so you know where they are and they're not just lost in the mix. But sometimes we just get caught up in too many options and too many digital options,
Hmm.
and
I agree.
you don't have to, it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be hyper professional, but
Hmm.
get it done if it's something that you really value.
Yeah, I agree. That's so great. Well, Kate, this has been such a treat. I love how everything you do and the work that you do captures the heart of what we talk about on the Sentimental Twist. So you weave that story, the care, the beauty into everyday life. And so I'm just so grateful to have met you virtually in real time and not just on
Yeah,
Instagram here and there, but I will be coming to Birmingham sometime before around Christmas, and
great.
I'll connect with you. Maybe we can get some coffee in real life
I would love that.
very soon. So,
Very soon. That sounds great. I did not tell you guys where you could listen to my
well,
podcast.
yeah, I wrote
I
that down and I
totally forgot
skipped
about
it.
that.
We've got to listen to the Button Up Society.
Yes. So you can listen to the podcast anywhere that you listen to podcasts. It is called the Button Up Society.
Mm,
And we talk about all things classic style and lifestyle.
yes, it's a
It's
very
very
good
fun.
companion to the Sentimental Twist. I've
Yeah.
been
If
listening
you
to it while doing chores. So,
Yes. If you feel like you just need to call a friend, but all your friends are busy or they're at work or something, we're a good thing to listen to because we're just like two friends chatting away about
all the
sometimes
things.
silly things, sometimes serious things, sometimes movies, sometimes wardrobes,
Hmm.
all the girly things.
And it's called the Button Up Society because y'all both love a classic button up.
We do love a classic button up. I'm wearing one today because, as I told Emily, I needed clothes today that did not touch my skin.
I
So,
get that. I get that a lot.
yeah.
Well, thank you again for your time. And on that note, friends, thank you so much for listening to this guest interview with Kate. And make sure you give her a follow and reach out to her for sure if you need help with your photo digitizing and organizing. And again, Kate, thank you for joining me today. And I will see you soon in Birmingham.
Yay. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, that was such a great interview. I mean, I'm so inspired. Aren't
I know.
you?
Yeah, and a little bit worried that I'm going to lose all of my 21,000 photos if I don't act quickly.
Yeah, and the whole, like, she lost me at the whole, like, she was trying to walk people through about how they could do it on their own drive or something, like a drive.
Mm,
And I'm like, out,
I'm gonna do that.
there's too many directions. I'm just gonna pay, maybe I'll get some Christmas money
Mhm.
or my tax refund or something, and I'll just
It would be a good Christmas gift.
it
I think
would.
hiring her for a friend or a loved one who feels overwhelmed by the number of pictures they have to organize, that would be a great Christmas
Yeah.
gift.
I've already hopped on to look at the honey that her husband sells, and there's a really good one that's a limited edition fall one.
Hmm.
It's supposed to be like a really dark amber color and very rich. So I might get a jar of that for Mr. Twist for Christmas. I'm whispering because the door's open. But the thing that was really my big takeaway was her simple ritual, and I know you do this too.
Mhm.
It makes me want to get an actual coffee pot and not a Keurig. Is how you and Kate both like to set your coffee up at night before you go to bed so you can smell it when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah. I started doing that right after COVID. I had a French press and a Keurig during COVID times, but when we went back to in-person work, I was like, I gotta do something to motivate myself to get up and get going. And so I bought a drip coffee maker with a timer. I said, I think on the interview that my best thing that my nighttime self does for my morning self is set the coffee up so that when my feet hit the ground, the coffee is ready. I can smell it. It almost motivates me to get out of bed, but I'm still drinking
Well, I
some today.
love how y'all, and that's another Southern Living at Home mug.
Yes, it is. That's my everyday china that Mama
Yeah,
gave me.
it's so
Mhm.
pretty. Um, it just, how romanticizing your life is
Yeah.
so important with all the things we have going on in the world, the
Agreed.
news, the directions we pull ourselves. I mean, we really take for granted those simple rituals, but yet how important they are to us.
Hmm.
Do you
Hmm.
agree that your first cup of coffee is the best one?
It's better. It is the best.
I mean, sometimes I'll try to do 2 cups, but it's just not the same, that second cup, and I don't know what it is. I don't know. What
Mm.
kind of coffee pot do you use?
I have a Smeg, which is the one that looks retro. Because it's out on that beverage center in my den, I wanted it to be pretty and it looks retro and it's creamy white and it's really cute. It makes good coffee. I don't understand why coffee manufacturers, whatever, haven't figured out how to make a spout that doesn't sometimes just run down the pitcher. You know what I'm saying? If you don't
Oh,
pour it
yeah.
just right, it will like
Yeah.
leak.
Yeah.
But it's a great coffee maker.
I think I want to save up my money and get a really like one of those bougie coffee makers. I'm not an espresso, so I don't want the espresso part, but I want like something that's, like sometimes you see people have like, it's like a $250. That's my version of bougie, a $250.
Well, the Smeg is a bougie one then
Is it?
because I just decided to bite the bullet and get it a couple years ago, and I like it a lot. I mean, I had a little random small Mr. Coffee before that, and it was fine.
Yeah.
But
Wondering if like for Mr. Twist, if I would just still get the Keurig for him because he likes to drink coffee all day long.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so I digress.
Okay.
Also, I loved Kate's sentiment, and this is a challenge that we want for everybody to try this week, is she says touching a paper photo and feeling the connection of remembrance rather than scroll.
I agree. Love that made me almost tear. I mean, I think I teared up. I tear up about random stuff, but it just it's such a tactile way to remember something. To feel the photos and we just don't do that anymore. My brother and I have had the conversation. We were looking through boxes of old photos, and he was like, if we don't print our photos, like our grandchildren and family members won't have this experience of looking at these old photos and pulling them out of a box. And I'm like, you're right, so there's just something about it.
Yeah, you know what I did for Phoebe this year for her birthday? I think it was for her birthday. Or no, maybe it was for Christmas. I can't remember. But I went through and picked out 12 photos from my loose photo boxes they're pictures of her growing up.
Hmm.
Um, Mostly as an infant to maybe preschool. And I tried to find ones with her grandparents and just different ones. And then I wrote a note for each picture, a handwritten note, and told her about that photo and about that time in her life and in my life. And then I put in $20 in each envelope. And that is flower money for her to go and buy a bouquet of flowers
I love that.
because she loves flowers and I wanted her to have these pictures
Hmm.
she can start collecting. So,
That's sweet.
yeah, I think she listens to my podcast. So maybe I need to get her a nice photo album to be putting these pictures in. Do
Hmm.
people still do photo albums?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I don't even know what would be a good one. Kate may know the answer to that question.
That's a good point. We'll have to ask her.
Okay.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
why don't we move to porch talk?
Okay, I love that. This is the our speed round
Hmm.
where I ask Brittany questions, and it's kind of like to peel the screen door back on what it's like to know us a little more. And I ask the questions first. Brittany gives an even quicker answer, and then she asks me the questions. Okay? So we ready?
Yep, ready. Ugh.
What is your go-to takeout order?
The first thought I have is there's this really good Peruvian restaurant, and I can get this rice dish that has meat of your choice and veggies all in it, and I can eat it for like 3 different meals, and it's only $12.
Are they open today?
Yes.
Maybe you need to
Mi-
go get that.
Might be my lunch, dinner, and tomorrow's lunch. Yeah.
Okay, one household chore you actually enjoy.
Really don't mind cleaning the kitchen. I like to clean the kitchen, and I like to unload the dishwasher and put the dishes away because I love dishes so much.
Oh,
But I put on a podcast or an audiobook and I just get after it. And I don't know, it feels a little bit like puttering to me because I'm playing with the dishes. I don't know. So
okay. What's your least favorite chore? I didn't add, that wasn't on our script, but
I'm not making bed, putting sheets on the bed. It's because I'm so vertically challenged. It's such a problem. I hate putting sheets on the bed.
yeah, I get you. I get you. I hate putting in a duvet cover
Oh,
inside.
that's awful too.
We did that a few days ago, and it was Mr. Twist's first time to ever do that. He was
Probably
more patient.
frustrating.
I've done it millions of times, and he was more patient than I was when I was doing it.
Okay.
Okay, favorite and least favorite Halloween candy.
Oh yeah, tomorrow's Halloween. Okay, so I always get the bag of all the different chocolates. It's got Hershey's, it's got Kit Kat, it's got Reese's. So favorite is going to be Reese's the pumpkins. That's the best seasonal shape Reese cup. And then the least is just the plain Hershey bar. Like I like them, but I'm like, meh, okay, give me some chocolate.
Why are those Reese's pumpkins so much better than the Reese's cups?
It must be the ratio of the peanut butter part and the chocolate. I don't
Phoebe
know.
gave me a little pre-Halloween treat bag, and it had some of those pumpkin Reese's in it. They're like this, super
Mm,
thick.
so good.
Oh, I gobbled those down first.
I know.
Okay, do you make your bed every day? Oh
In
wait,
this
you didn't say what's your least. Oh, the least favorite was the Hershey
was a
bar.
Hershey, yeah.
What do you make your bed every day?
In this season, it's a no, but that it's not always that way. I go through spurts and seasons where I do make my bed every day, and I feel like, time is about to change, that I'll get back to it because it won't feel so early in my body when I have to get up and get
Right.
out of the house.
Time changes. It's lighter earlier.
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
so dark right now. I have to be at work at 7, so it's just something I don't even think about. So maybe it'll change, next week when time changes.
What is always on your kitchen counter?
A basket of vegetables like sweet potatoes, onions, and then if I have some fruit, there's fruit up there. But I have a little utility tray that sits by my stove that has my oils, my salt, my pepper mill, little tasting spoons, and things like that. And that's always right there with utensils and stuff ready to go. So that's it.
That wraps up
Yeah.
yours.
All right, your turn. You're
Okay.
ready.
Yeah.
What is your go-to takeout order?
I guess the one I do the most is that when Mr. Twist is out running errands, he'll say, "Hey, do you want me to go buy Jersey Mike's?"
I like
And he'll
Jersey.
get me a mini tuna sandwich on wheat with lettuce, tomato, pickles, and onions, and a bag of Sun Chips.
I love Sun Chips.
And
Oh,
really, that's about the only time that's probably the only time during the week that I eat bread. I'm just not,
mhm.
ever since Phoebe moved out, our diets changed dramatically. We just don't eat sandwiches anymore. I don't really
I don't
eat.
even buy bread unless I have a recipe it needs to go in.
Right, I am too. It's not that I don't like the bread. I'm not doing it because of the carbs or any of that. It's just I just don't think about it. And
Mm,
because if I buy a loaf and I'm not using it like you said for a recipe, it gets moldy.
yeah, same. Okay. One household chore you actually enjoy.
I like doing laundry.
Okay.
I like putting it in there. I love the way it smells when it comes out. And I usually put on, like you said, I'll put on a show or some good music and I'll fold the laundry. I don't necessarily like putting it
No
away.
way. I'm the same. Relate.
Yes, but I do love to I love to fold sheets. I love to fold towels because I just love the
Mm.
smell of it.
Can you do a tutorial on folding a fitted sheet for me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Maybe that'll be
What's
on
your,
the Hostess Journal.
oh yeah, okay. What's your least favorite household chore?
Emptying the dishwasher.
That's Anna's too. She hates it.
I hate it. I hate it. And, I hate it so much that I will let the dishes pile up in the kitchen until Mr. Twist finally has had enough. And it takes a lot for him to finally go. But here's the thing, this is what most men do is they announce that they emptied the dishwasher and that they loaded it. Why do they do that?
They want you to know that they participated in the household activities as well.
He does it every single time. And every single time I'm like, oh my gosh, honey,
I
thank
just do it all the time without having to tell you.
well, that's my my inner voice, but my external voice goes, honey, thank you so much. That was so sweet of you. Oh, okay.
All right, favorite and least favorite Halloween candy.
Favorite would probably be I love Butterfingers.
Mm,
And we buy the mixed bag at Costco.
okay.
And we were reading the package the other day, and it had like on the nutritional information on the back of every bag, with all the different ones that are in there.
Don't
But
read
on
it.
the front, it said, due to availability, you may not get you may not get the variety listed on the back. And I'm like, well, that seems like a bait and switch.
Mm-hmm.
And then they don't put like, why do they put 40 Mounds bars and Almond Joys, which are my least favorite because I can't stand coconut, but only two Butterfinger?
It's probably for that reason most people don't like coconut. They
And that's
keep
why
putting it in there.
they keep putting it in there. And what kid likes coconut?
I don't know. I like I like an almond joy, but I don't love coconut in general, but I will eat an almond joy. So
No, I don't eat coconut. So I'd actually probably be happy if you gave me a big bag of Almond Joys because then I'd be like, good, I won't
I
be
don't
tempted to eat
I won't
it.
be eating this.
Yeah. Ugh.
All right. Do you make your bed every day?
I do make my bed every day.
Good for you.
I
Proud
do.
of you.
There was a book that was written by an naval admiral in the Navy that said if you're not going to do if you're going to do one thing every day, it needs to be making your bed because it just sets the tone for the rest of the
Mm-hmm.
day. And I think there's also science behind making your bed
Mm-hmm.
every day. But I
Mm-hmm.
get it. I mean, that's not to say I think 99% of the time I make my bed.
Yeah. I would say
Um,
60 to 70%.
yeah, and maybe the times that I don't make it is I know that I'm only going to be out of it for like if it's on a Sunday and it's raining outside and I'm going to be just reading cookbooks in my bed, I may not make it. But for the most part, I do make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What's always on your kitchen counter?
I don't know what Christmas it was. Maybe last Christmas, the one before that. Doug and Phoebe gave me a really nice, oversized butcher block cutting board.
Love them.
And that's what I use to cut my stuff up. I always wipe it down before I use it because I've got cats. But I use vinegar and water, which is an
Mm-hmm.
antiseptic, and so that helps to clean it. But I just love the look. It reminds me of a Nancy Meyer's kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
like the ones from Sweet Diane
Eating. Oh,
Keaton that passed away.
can't believe it.
All right, now we're going to move on to something we both we love everything we talk about, don't we?
Yeah, yeah, it's fun.
Heirloom recipes. What do
Hmm.
our mothers and grandmothers recipe cards really teach us? Okay, so
Hmm.
I don't know, when I pull out a recipe card, even if it's not one from my mother or my grandmother or my sister, I mean, I immediately think of that woman's life. There's just something about, there was an era, I think, that women had typewriters,
Hmm.
that they typewritten their recipe cards. And I think about the time it took for them to sit down and do that.
Hmm.
But I just love to look at women's handwriting. I don't know about you, but if you come across your mom's recipe
Hmm.
card that has your handwriting on it, isn't it just like
It's
your heart
precious, yeah.
your heart skips a beat?
And my mom's cursive is that bubbly kindergarten teacher, just her personality. Like her writing is the same as her personality. So it's crazy.
Yeah. And you think about when you look at a recipe card that how the generations of cooking have changed. If you look at an old church cookbook, they talked about oleo
Hmm.
and then margarine,
Hmm.
and now we cook pretty much with butter.
Yeah.
I don't know. What about you?
Yeah, I just think about trying to preserve those and make sure those handwritten cards, or even those that, like, I have several cookbooks of my grandmother's that were church cookbooks, but she wrote in them her little notes, preserving those and making sure that I can use them. I love the idea that a lot of people frame, those handwritten recipe cards in their kitchens. I have a few that I haven't framed that I might make a 2026 project as well. But like this time of year, I'm getting those cookbooks back out a lot because of wanting to prepare for Thanksgiving and Christmas meals and things like that. And just Granny had a tendency of, if there was one that she used often from a church cookbook that wasn't necessarily her recipe, she would write her name out beside it so that we would know this is the one that Ella uses, this is the recipe Ella uses. And so I love that. But I would love different ideas for displaying them, or I like the idea of scanning them and putting them in a digital, maybe make a little scrapbook that you can use one of those printing services, even a bound book that has recipes that you've scanned in that have handwriting of your family members or whatever. But yeah, any ideas for preserving? I just think it's just a neat way also to share something personal with others, like as a gift. And, if you're taking a batch of cookies that you make regularly over to a neighbor for a birthday, a celebration, or a holiday, taking the recipe card that you've written out with it on there so that they have that recipe now. Hopefully they like the cookies and they can make the recipe and think of you and your gesture of hospitality from giving it to them. So I think it's a great way to carry out tradition is by sharing the recipes in a handwritten form with others.
Yeah, I agree. I think one thing I might try to do in the future is to gift. If you get on Etsy, a lot of businesses will take handwritten recipes and put them on a tea towel
Hmm.
or put
Love
them on a
that.
butcher block, or
Yeah.
on a charcuterie board or on a cake plate. Oh, we've got show and tell.
I have a show and tell because, we, it kind of feels like a living recipe box, when you've got some of yours and somebody else's and you're adding, because I don't know about you, but I just have recipes everywhere, stuck in drawers, stuck in Ziploc bags, stuck in other cookbooks. But Anna gave me this keepsake kitchen diary one year for Christmas.
Gosh, it's so
And yeah,
cute.
and you can get them on Amazon or gift shops. I think she got this one from a local gift shop. But it has, I'm going to open it. So those of you that are just listening, go on YouTube. But it has a pocket. And so see, that one, first one is cornbread. And that's the way my mom wrote the cornbread recipe down and how
Two
smudged it is.
cups, 2 cups of something and flour and salt.
And so 2 cups of meal, half cup flour, salt. And then this one she liked one day when she was having cancer treatment in Texas. And she wrote this watermelon pie recipe down and she made copies of it and took it to her nurses. And so this was the original. So I have that kind of stuff stuck in here. But then it has where you can write down the recipes and memories attached to the recipes.
Oh,
So like
cool.
we have this taco dip we make in our family. So this first page in the starter section is favorite taco dip. And on the other page, which haven't kept up with as much, but it says, this is so and so's favorite. It's my brother's favorite. So I have this is Blake Shepherd's favorite. And then you write when you've made it for what occasion. It's just a really cute way to kind
Okay.
of
What's the name of it again? The
keepsake
Keepsake
kitchen
Kitchen
diary.
Diary. I'm gonna look and see if it's on Amazon.
There are some, and they have different covers. So this one was from years ago. It's by Lily and Val is the brand. So you might be able to get them on the website too, lilyandval.com.
Oh, I see it. There's one right here.
Mm-hmm.
Lily and Val vintage. It's got vintage bakeware. Okay, that is the cutest thing. I'm
And
gonna do
then,
that.
so
I'm
I
gonna
gave
do
my
that for,
sister-in-law one for Christmas one year and wrote a few of Mama's recipes in it. So it's a really cool living recipe box in a way. So,
yeah,
and
and I
there's
think
tabs and pockets so you can add. I have tomato and rice soup, which is one of my mama's favorite comfort foods that I need to probably write into the book. And
well,
like I went to a cooking
tell me about
party.
that recipe, the tomato and rice, because I think I might want it's a tomato and rice soup.
Hmm.
Tell me about that. Read that to me.
Okay, so it's your seasoning meat, for which, for us, that's a ham hock usually. So you fill the pot half full of water with salt, let boil to make the stock with the meat in it. And then add 3/4 cup to 1 cup of uncooked rice, a fourth to 1/2 cup macaroni, which sounds super weird. Add at least 2 large cans of diced tomatoes and cook till rice and noodles are done, but not too high or they'll get gummy. And then that's the soup, tomato and rice. It's crazy.
But it's just really yummy.
It is. And sometimes if I don't want to like go through the whole process of the seasoning meat with the ham hock or beef or whatever, I'll use those Goya packets that you can get at the grocery store that has that seasoning in it. So
I may have to make that this week.
it's simple, delicious.
I think I may do that book for Phoebe for Christmas
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
and just add to it every year, have her give it back
Mm-hmm.
to me and then I rewrap it and regift it to her with more memories because
Mm-hmm.
I would probably tape a lot of handwritten recipes in there that
Yeah.
were like, maybe scan them. I
Mm-hmm.
still want to hold on to my mother's handwriting, but like my Aunt Helen, but I think this is another generational thing. I think back in the day, women exchanged recipes via mail.
Mm-hmm.
Like my Aunt Helen, I found lots of her letters to my mom, and it would be recipes.
Mm-hmm.
And my Aunt Helen, I've talked about Aunt Helen before, even though my name is Melissa, I was going to be her namesake. She cussed like a sailor. And her version of cussing wasn't as vulgar as it's gotten
Today.
lately, but it's
Yeah.
more like damn. She'd write damn good on the
Mm-hmm.
bottom of her recipes. Like if it was really worth making, she'd write damn good.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got lots of those. That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that. There's one challenge I think I'm going to do this week on
Oh yeah.
Instagram. I
Do
think it's going
this.
to be fun, and I'm really committed to doing it. I'm kind of scared. I have a recipe box that I've talked about her before. Her name was Martha, and I got it at her estate sale after she had passed away. I think I'm just going to blindly open the box on camera, and I'm going to just pull a random recipe out, and whatever I pull out, I have to commit to making it
And tasting it.
and tasting it and doing a video of it.
What if it's tomato aspic?
I'm going to do it because I've never made tomato aspic.
That's right.
I think it's so nasty, and we've talked about that before. Like why? That was on one of our first episodes
Earlier episodes.
where we talked about the stuffed bologna, and that if you make it, no one will ever come back to your house.
We just had ourselves laughing so hard.
We's laughing. We's laughed in that one. So if you haven't heard that one yet, I don't know what episode that was, but it was hilarious. We're talking about
Earlier season 1.
recipes, yeah. So that is going to be what I'm going to do, and we
Mhm.
shall see.
That'll be fun. I can't
Yeah.
wait to watch that happen.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on now.
Yeah.
Blessed, I had to share it.
Yes.
What do you want to share?
Okay, so I have something fun that I've been kind of dreaming up, and I think I'm going to do it. Well, I'm committing to doing it because I'm putting it on this podcast. So every year around this time, I start getting my Paperwhites and Amaryllis bulbs ready for Christmas. And I've never done a live workshop like you did your butterscotch apple cake. And I would like to do a live workshop for potting our Paperwhite bulbs the week I'm gonna do it on Veterans Day because that's when I usually do mine because I'm off work, and I think hopefully many people will be able to attend live since they might not be working. But I'll also record it and send out a replay if you're not available. So it will be at 1 p.m. Central Time on November 11th, which is a Tuesday. And I'll send out, if you register, I'll put the link in the show notes, but if you register, I'll send you a resource list if you want to get some supplies and pot yours with me at the same time. Or if not, you can watch the replay and do it. But around this time, like for early November, is a great time to get your Paperwhites and amaryllis bulbs potted so that they bloom around Christmas. And so I would love for y'all to join me at my very first live workshop.
Oh,
A
I
little
can't
bit nervous,
wait. I'm
but it will
so
be fun.
excited. Oh, you'll do great. I can't wait. I saw a lady make them on one of her accounts. She's a gardener.
Mm,
And what I liked about hers when you said resource list
mm-hmm.
is she had oversized mugs, coffee mugs
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that were gorgeous. I don't know where
Mm.
she got them. I think she's English.
Okay.
But I thought, what a great use for a coffee mug.
Yeah.
And then after the Paperwhites are bloomed,
Mm-hmm.
you could use it
For whatever. For coffee.
back to coffee or plant something else. I'm super excited.
Yeah, it'll be
I'm
fun.
going to probably have to do the replay on that because I've already committed to go with my friend Catherine to a show house tour that day.
Fun.
But I will definitely sign up for your class.
Which show house?
It's the Kips Bay.
I was gonna say, is it Kips Bay, Dallas?
It is. It is. We go every year. I think this will be our 5th year to go.
Mm.
And then you come home and you look at your house and you're like, "Oh, my house is a dump."
No, it's not. All right, what's your blessed?
My blessed is I just launched the Hostess Journal.
Oh, that's right. I love it.
And it is a video YouTube series that I'm doing every Saturday. It's an extension of my love for hosting and hospitality and decorating and heirloom recipes and cooking in general. And so it's just an opportunity for me to spend time with people for 8 to 10 minutes every Saturday as a ritual when you enjoy your coffee or your Diet Coke, or watch it whenever it's convenient for you. And in this first episode, I teach everyone how to make a simmer pot for the fall, which I have been enjoying since I launched. I still add water to it, and it makes the house smell. It's got oranges, cranberries, cloves, and nutmeg in it. And it just smells so good. So that's what I'm doing. If anyone's interested, we'll put the link in our show notes. It's my YouTube channel, Home with a Twist. Just go and subscribe, and then you'll get notifications whenever I've loaded something new. But it's basically every Saturday, you'll have it there waiting for you. And it's called the Hostess Journal, and it's just my little, me sharing my little notebook of tips and tricks and ways to make hosting intentional and not perfection, and a sense of calm, and just simple ideas for how that you can apply for the week to make your home a beautiful, welcoming place.
I love that.
Yeah.
So those are some good blessings.
Okay. All right. So I guess we'll close the show. I have a little quote. So when we
Okay.
started the show, this was Brittany's brainchild when we started our podcast, is that she wanted to leave everyone with a poem or a saying or a quote or a thought or an idea that just kind of helps, I don't know, helps us moving forward with how we feel about sentimental spaces and gracious hospitality. And Brittany and I are both really big fans of Alexandra Stoddard.
Mm. I want to be her when I grow up.
And you can go to her website, alexandrastoddard.com, and get her newsletters. And she only does one, I think, once a month now. She's getting older, but if you want more of her, you can. All her books are still available on Amazon. Living a Beautiful Life. She's just got so many books. So I'm going to share a quote about from Alexandra Stoddard. Feeling at home with ourselves and being able to create a spirit of place
Mm.
that nourishes us physically, emotionally, and spiritually is a goal worthy of our highest priority.
I love that.
And our home is and so that was her quote. And so I'm going to just add to that. Our home is our respite. It is our castle. It is our safety net from everything that's outside of our home. And we hope that the messages that Brittany and I share with you every week help you to realize that your home can be anything you want it to be. but it needs to be a safe place, and you can create beauty in any form.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that just inspires you.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, so that's all for today's episode of the Sentimental Twist. We want you to follow us on our Instagrams, homewithatwist.com, Home with a Twist on YouTube. Brittany, you want to share your things
Yep,
again?
at Brittany Shepherd on Instagram, the Sentimental Decorator, all the things. I just want to say thank y'all too for sticking with us on this longer episode today, and a huge thank you to Kate for joining us and doing that great guest interview. And make sure you connect with her at kate.bagley on Instagram. And if you're interested in her photo organizing services, you will not regret it. So,
And think of that as a Christmas present, right?
yes, give her a shout out.
And be sure to give the Sentimental Twist podcast a follow on Instagram. If anything resonated with you about our podcast today or in the past, be sure to send us an email at the Sentimental Twist podcast at gmail.com.
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks for joining us on the Sentimental Twist.
Where we believe every space tells a story.
And every story deserves a place at the table. Until next time.
Keep things cozy, collected, and a little bit sentimental.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all. Happy Halloween.